You're listening to the All Elite Podcast, your favorite AEW fan podcast for in-depth analysis and discussions about the #1 growing brand in professional wrestling today, All Elite Wrestling. This podcast is broadcasted live on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch on behalf of the No Holds Barred Network. The network is your source for wrestling interviews and podcast content featuring independent wrestling and AEW. Also, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So sit back, relax, and interact in the live chat. Enjoy the show.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the All Elite Podcast, right here on the No Holds Barred Network. It is your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. My name is Kyle Masters. I am your Canadian prince, and I'm always joined by my co-host, as always. She is the woman of many nicknames who loves to shake her head at me each and every single week here on the podcast. Her name is Tiffany. She's the queen of the indies, the lady of the light tubes, the heartbreak chick, the EVP of giggles. You know, we're just going to keep adding to this damn nickname. Oh, look at this. Look at the Twitch. Oh my God! Look in the Twitch chat, Tiffany. If we want to become famous and buy followers, prime viewers, all we have to do is click that link and go to big follow space.com, and we will get that famous. I cannot wait to click that link. I'll do that after the podcast. Cannot wait to click that. But Tiffany, what's going on?
Fool. You're such a fool.
I'm sorry, I had to. The bots on Twitch are hilarious. But today we're joined by a third. Hang on, I have to play some music to introduce this guest. Here we go.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Queen has arrived. Joining us as a special guest today, the Queen of NE. Queen, how's it going?
Babies, what's happening? Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, double trouble.
Oh boy.
Ooh, in the building, honey.
It's been too long.
We actually
Very long.
Right before the podcast went on the air, I actually did my research. The last time Queen was on the podcast, so this is episode 146. The last time that she was here was July 17th, 2019, so pre-COVID, and episode number 32 of the podcast.
Damn.
It's been a while.
My
It's been a
good Lord.
while.
Been a while,
Yeah.
but we back, honey. So
Mhm.
thank you so much for having me. This is my first show back since baby.
Oh,
So,
we're honored.
hey,
We're honored.
I'm honored.
So happy.
How is
I'm
the
so
baby?
happy
Tell-
to see you
up-
guys and
update
hang
these
out.
viewers.
And
How's
good
the
Lord,
baby?
what is there to talk about?
I
Nothing,
know.
right? We have nothing to talk about.
Me and Queen were talking about this. It was funny. I saw her post that she was like, I'm going to come back and do something. I was like, oh, let me hit her up. I said, let's bring her back to AP. Because I was like, okay. I was like, it's been a while since we did AP. And what more than a perfect episode of Dynamite that we got last night.
And
And
news. And news. Like, it's like they thought, it's like, you know what? We know Queen's coming back. Let's just drop all this week.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's going to
Just
AP.
for me.
Drop it. Let's drop
Mhm.
everything.
It's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Yeah.
Straight hot fire being put on us.
Mhm.
The last how many days? 4 days. I feel like it's just
Oh,
been
man.
news after news after news.
My head can't
Wild.
handle it anymore. Like, my head is just...
I can't.
I'm going to, like, this source, that source, this source, that source to try to, like, confirm. And then it's like, then it gets confirmed by the real source. And then they're like, they're unsure. And it's like, oh, just tell me. Just
We need
tell
to
us.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
We need to know. Give it to us.
Which we're actually going to get to in the beginning of the show. But again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the All Elite Podcast. This is usually where myself and Tiff go and talk about everything in the AEW world, whether it's Elevation, whether it's Dark, whether it's Dynamite, Rampage, BT, everything. AEW just continues to grow day by day. We cover it here on the podcast. If you're new here, thank you for tuning in. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. You guys know how we do it here on the podcast. And we have a lot to talk about. And we are sponsored by Manscaped. Thank you very much for Manscaped for sponsoring us. We will get to our ad in the middle of the show, and you're the only part people do tune into the show to listen to, and that is our beautiful Manscaped commercial, which Queen's going to be listening in on too, because as soon as we hit commercial, we hear it through all our headphones. So Queen gets to experience me and Tiff singing off camera here. But
Can't wait.
yes, we'll get to that in the middle of the show. But
Party.
anywho, let's talk about we got to talk about the news like right off the bat.
Let's go in.
So before the
what?
big news, God, my screen's so bright. Before the big news, news that happened today, which is awesome. So today, not only was it Thunder Rosa's birthday,
Yeah.
so happy birthday to her. Shout out to Thunder Rosa. They also made her officially all elite on her birthday, which is fantastic.
You know, there's a lot of news that's been going around. Like, people have been having their birthdays and then announcing their contracts. So even like Casey Navarro, like, signed with MLW. It was his birthday yesterday. And
Yeah.
he signed over there. And I know that he's been showing up a lot at Dark. But, you know, you never know. He could still show up because MLW allows
someone-
their wrestlers all over.
Fact check Punk and Brian's birthday. That's when they're going to be all elite.
Keep the
No.
trend going.
Joking. But yeah, Thunder Rosa was huge for the AEW Women's Division.
Sure.
It was confirmed that Tony Khan did buy out the contract earlier this month from NWA. So purchasing that contract allow her to sign with AEW. So Tony Khan, TK, buddy, thank you so much for bringing in Rosa. Can't wait to see what she does now here full time. Cannot wait. But yeah.
Oh, I mean, what's better? What's better than that? What a great signing. About time.
Right?
About time.
Yeah, let's all be.
I mean, she's so good and so talented, so charismatic. It's going to bring a lot of experience and depth of knowledge to the women's division, which she, you know, as she's been participating in matches and being a part of AEW unofficially, right? She's been bringing that experience. But now that you're an official roster member, I feel like it's going to help so much put a spotlight on all the talented women that are in AEW.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. But other than that, like Tiff mentioned, like Casey Navarro signing with MLW, it's pretty good. Just there was a lot of AEW's just gotten a lot more exciting over the last couple of days, and it all led to yesterday, which yesterday before Dynamite, like the world got turned upside down. From the morning till literally the time before Dynamite, the world was just like, okay, what did we just fall into like a different dimension? And then, you know, what everyone used to think that was a dream just suddenly became true, because now the talks are, and we got to talk about it. So 2 out of the big free agents out there, I wouldn't even call CM Punk a free agent, because now it was announced yesterday that he's announced that he's coming back into wrestling. He didn't say he's coming to AEW. He says he's in talks to come back to wrestling, which can mean a variety of different things. But the big one was yesterday, Daniel Bryan. The reports were that Daniel Bryan was it came out of bodyslam.net right before AEW that 100% has already signed a contract with AEW. That still hasn't been confirmed. Sean Ross Sapp came out and said he hasn't been able to confirm the story, but knows Body Slam's Cassidy Haynes has many AEW contacts. And I sit there and go, okay, so bodyslam.net, they're not like a lot of dirt sheets out there. They kind of hold their own reputation. They kind of go out there. They don't put out stories that are gonna tarnish their reputation for what kind of reputation they have.
Right. Yeah.
So for them to do something like this, you don't just do that just to like ruin your damn freaking brand. Like that's if this isn't true, that's like brand suicide. Like, if this was never a thing and Daniel Bryan was never in talks with AEW, this will kill bodyslam.net.
There's so many websites that got killed off of, like, all this. Like, and then forget it. Twitter, like, breaks. Like, stuff was going on in the indies last night, and it, like, broke social media. So, I get it. I totally get it.
But,
I brought my little Daniel Bryan friend. I'm really excited about it, if you can't tell.
Out of both Punk and Bryan, CM Punk is reportedly come back to wrestling. Apparently his destination is AEW. Today, he just literally an hour ago, he just made like the biggest tease of them all. He had an Instagram story of the that song from The Last Dance, by the Alan Parsons Project. Basically, it was in the like, it has to do with the Chicago Bulls. So he posted that at the same time AEW puts out a trademark that they just trademarked the first dance. So like AEW trademarks that and he does that. So I'm like, okay, like what's going on here?
So much
happening.
Yeah.
When is the question of all?
So,
but they're kind of saying at the Queens New York show, Brian's supposed to.
So that was
show
the
up.
rumor. Yeah, is that he was scheduled to debut at the Queens show. So I don't know if that's still going to be a thing. I mean, if it is, maybe we're going to, so we're going to go absolutely nuts when that happens. But I don't know if he's going to debut before that or if there's going to be an announcement leading to that's going to be like his first debut match. The Punk thing's interesting too because not only that, earlier this week, it went very unnoticed, but I noticed it and a lot of people tweeted it at me. AEW added about 1,000 tickets each to both Dynamite and Rampage the week of All Out in Chicago. They opened up sections in those arenas, and I'm like, hey, you don't just randomly open up more sections in Chicago of all places if something big's not going to go down that week. Because it's not like both arenas were sold out and they needed to open up more sections. There are still tickets available for both Dynamite and Rampage. But now that if you opened up sections, it's like, okay. You know, it's kind of like the stars are, you can see them aligning now. You know, it'd be crazy. It'd be nuts. I can't because like I need to like, it's that thing. We're all, because we're podcasters, it's like we need to believe it when we see it.
Yeah, I'm definitely like that. But I'm wondering if like, are we gonna get that build before then, and that's when tickets are gonna like poof sold out? Are we gonna get before, or did they open up more seats thinking more people are gonna buy? But is it because of the build up to then that more people are gonna buy? That's what I'm curious.
Yeah, but what if this leak was leaked by Tony Khan? He's like, we're gonna open up season. I'm gonna slowly leak it out. That Punk's coming back.
Open up seats at a lot of places. Sometimes you can get seats like day of at a lot of pay-per-views and shows. It's just like baseball games, basketball games. Sometimes like they still have tickets for the day of. So, and then a lot get released the day of. So with him saying that, like I said, could it be the restrictions over there that they can have more bodies in the building? Is that why? Is it the build up to it? You know, is it going to be a surprise? Like, so I'm really curious.
It's tough. They can go either way. They can do a
surprise. It's tough to say too. You're right. It could go either way. And like the other thing is too, everyone expects Chicago because it's CM Punk, right? Where else would he go? But that's why I'm thinking you might be right, Tiff. Like, are we going to get something completely unexpected? Because you would think, Chicago, he's definitely going to come. Right. So are they like giving us a little something to lead us the wrong way and then drop it later? I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I mean, look, me and Queen went to All Out 2 years ago. So that was crazy.
I met Punk.
Yeah. That was crazy over at StarCast. The line, remember the line? Like it was.
I do. I was in the line. It sucked. Girl, let me tell you what. Listen. 100% worth it. He was so dope and like signed stuff and was so cool and very nice. But that line, honey, oof.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good with that. Never doing that again. But I had to. I was like, I don't know if he's ever gonna come back.
Yeah,
I gotta go.
I'm a one and done kind of person. I gotta meet him once.
Yeah, me too.
I'm good.
Once and then I'm good.
Yeah.
The cases too they can also go look at is so. They've opened up tickets, but that could also be the case that because look what's all happened in the last week or two with AEW. That's you know kind of garners. Okay, maybe we should open up more tickets because Black just came in and he's doing this thing with Cody, and they're doing all these like feuds that are just building, and like you know maybe they're anticipating like they have to anticipate like Hangman and Kenny is for sure probably going to happen at All Out. So you know you might have to open up more seats for the week of Chicago for the lead up for the go home shows. So like.
Also, look what's happening. Also, is it the fact that it's like AEW is going places now, right? Yeah. We've opened the door, and here it is. Never mind the fact that you have your regular people in the indies. Nick Gage just freaking showed up yesterday. You got New Japan people come, so you got from all over. Like, I know, like the big pop, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
But
Can't wait.
just this alone, like I'm sure. I mean, social exploded last night. Exploded,
Yeah.
right? So it's just getting better and better and better. And now, it's getting better with COVID, and like more people are gonna wanna go. And if they keep putting shows like that they're putting on this last week and this week, more people are gonna buy tickets.
Queens is already at 15,000 tickets sold, so that's already a freaking huge accomplishment for AEW. Like that capacity, I think, is 17,000 max. So they literally have 2,000 tickets to go. And if everything comes true with these rumors over the next couple of weeks, they're gonna sell out that place. There's not gonna be a ticket left in that place.
I don't be surprised that. I mean, it should sell out. It's New
Yeah.
York. Like, let's be real. It's New York because it's tri-state over here. People will come from Jersey, Connecticut, like all over the place.
100%.
Sell out. Never mind the fact of us New Yorkers here. A lot of people may be waiting for the money, maybe for tickets to go down or travels because it's still some time away. We're still in July. That's September. So a lot can happen.
And it's the first New York show, right? It's a big. New York's obviously
it's a big deal.
The big territories to get to. So it's
Barclays or MSG, which is even crazier.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Crazy.
MSG is
crazy.
There's all that WWE stuff with MSG, and I don't know what goes on behind closed doors with them. So I don't get into it with MSG. I still think that AEW has a stranglehold over that building. So I don't think AEW can go anywhere into that building. They've allowed New Japan and Ring of Honor, but to WWE, those are not competition. Clearly, AEW is a competition to them, so they're not going to let AEW into that building anytime soon. But
G1 sold out too at MSG.
G1 did sell out, and it was
Kyle got like tickets, like resale tickets, pretty much, but it's sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did read that, Bill. See, they did try for MSG. And I'm telling you right now, the stranglehold that they got with Vince, they're not going to let it go anytime soon. So
they don't need it right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? They don't need it right now. And it's because of the fact that they're doing things that nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
The doors, there are no doors no more. That's it. They've all been kicked through. The partnerships that they've created the draw that they're going to bring are going to sell tickets like that. And as they continue their momentum moving forward, they're going to need bigger venues. But right now, they don't need MSG yet.
Yeah.
Soon. Yes, but not yet.
But you have other options in New York too. You can kind of
as for in general, like the big Bryan and CM Punk, those two signing AEW is huge. Regardless of what people want to go on Twitter and spew about, blah 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 blah. I think this of Punk and I think this of Bryan. Both are a game changer in so many different ways for a company. It didn't matter if it was AEW or if it was Ring of Honor or New Japan. Doesn't matter where they sign. If they both decide to sign with New Japan, that's a game changer for them. That's huge because Daniel Bryan obviously right away. He's gonna want that contract freedom. That was probably one of the big things he wanted to do. That's why he wanted to go work with New Japan. Clearly, AEW is that outlet for him because Tony Khan's like, whatever you want, put it on the dotted line, sign it, and there you go. You can do whatever the hell you want. CM Punk, on the other hand, not in a position to be traveling and doing all that stuff. If he signs with AEW, he's with AEW. He's not going to New Japan to travel for 8 months at a time. Bryan's going to be that guy to, come wrestle a few days for AEW, go do some stuff in New Japan, come back, vice versa. You think about it another way, too. AEW locks these two guys in. Think about the future with these two guys.
Oh,
having them
can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel Bryan, Zack Sabre Jr. That's all I have to say. There's tons of other matches that we can dream about and drool over, but the technical wrestler in Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, as it will be probably, will come out. Honey.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's
that's all I gotta say.
The list of dream matches you can do with either or is crazy. And
drooling.
Punk, obviously, I'm more excited for because he's great with creative freedom and on the mic itself. So that's the big thing I want to see in AEW is him go have mic battles with like guys like MJF and whoever can step up to him and on the plate mic wise. But when we think about the future of these two guys, like maybe like say they sign now, think about them to like 5-8 years down the road if they don't go back to WWE for one off, or if they do and they come back to AEW. These guys, their creative minds could be great for creative for AEW backstage, and they're also good for helping the younger talent get put over. Because you think about everyone they've brought in that used to be with WWE recently, they're all going to be excellent hands. Like, you already have Henry and Show back there that are Paul White and Mark Henry back there. Great minds for the big guys back there. Christian, who's been putting over people. I know he's been winning, but he's been putting over people like crazy, and he's going to be putting over people like crazy even after he's done wrestling in AEW. He's going to be another great backstage hand. So I can't wait if this is true. Again, I hate that I hate being in the rumor zone. I want to see like a graphic. I want to see the All Elite graphic, because then I'll really like lose my shit.
I'll hear Kyle.
Right.
Especially for CM Punk.
We will hear you all the way from where you are, all the way here, screaming in excitement.
But the way I scream for Spears and Omega is the way I'm going to scream for CM Punk, because I still own it's back in the other room, back in my basement area here. I do have a bin. I still have about 10 to 15 CM Punk shirts in there. Like, I was a massive CM Punk mark back in the day, so CM Punk's always been my favorite. So
Be wearing that.
I'll be losing my shit. But
Hell yeah.
Anyways.
Vintage, honey.
Yeah. Anyways, that's enough of that. We can talk about that all day, but we're not going to do an all-day podcast on that. Let's talk about AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest night numero 2. Wow.
Numero 2.
I mean, I was going to say numero uno for a split second, but we're on night 2. So what's the Spanish word for 2? Dos. Numero dos. God, I can't believe I forgot that. Yeah, I know. Shame on me.
Where's the bell?
I don't know where it went. It's somewhere.
I can shame you with a pineapple. I have a big pineapple that I'm bringing this weekend to GCW.
Okay. All right. We're going to move on. Fyter Fest night 2. Another great night of Dynamite. Last week was a little bit better. It was still an exciting episode, but this week it was fun. Last week I thought it was a little bit better, though. I really much enjoyed last week's show. But this week had its moments, and boy, did it ever have its moments.
Did you need a tissue last night for your boy?
The opening there? Yeah,
I put that on Twitter.
But, like, I knew he was going to lose. Like, Jericho's going through all his trials, so, like, I was going into it going...
Coming in with low expectations.
Yeah.
Right.
Poor Sean. I'm sorry that your number one husband is...
No one can say, though, that this guy doesn't bring out a great match in anybody he faces, though.
And he's hot, so, like, he's nice to look at.
Okay.
So.
Cool. Yeah, he is. I'll agree.
Doesn't hurt.
I'm gonna agree there, and this is a great match. MJF was on commentary. He was being MJF on commentary is hilarious, by the way. Him going back at it with the commentators, and fantastic.
He's a good, he's always been a great heel, and he's just a great mouthpiece, and it's only going to get better.
So, as for the match itself, it was great, but, like, the story here is what happened after the damn match, because MJF gets on the ramp, and the most out of left field thing ever happened because no one could have sat here before the show and predicted that this was going to happen. There's no way. There's not going to be a single tweet out there that's going to be like, you know what, I feel like Nick Gage is about to come out. Nobody's would have predicted that. So MJF gets on the mic, yells at Jericho for a bit, and then tells him about his, what do you call it, the trials of Jericho? Is that what they're calling it? I keep forgetting what they're calling this stuff.
Labors.
The labors, that's it. The labors of Jericho. So he's talking about Labor 2 next week. And, he's going to face, he's running down all these, like, accolades. Like, this man once, like, jabbed his opponent with, what is it, like, in a cheek or something like that. I'm going, like, who the fuck is he? I'm, like, in my head, I'm trying to go through all the AEW superstars. I'm like, who is he talking about? Like, who's done all this? And I'm, like, thinking of, like, people in the Pinnacle. I'm like, this is not Wardlow. Like, this is not Wardlow. Then he yells out Nick effing Cage. I'm like, there's no way. The music hits. He comes out. The place loses their effing mind. He comes out with the pizza cutter. About to cut that zone for us.
All right, well, let me stop you, because he was supposed to debut last year, honestly, behind the scenes here. He was supposed to debut, but he got hurt. So that's why he lost the belt in GCW to RSP, and then he was on injury for a while. Then he just, like, recently came back, and now he has the belt.
Ricochet Page.
Really?
Remember that last week when I couldn't say his name? Like who? Ricochet Page?
Ricky Shade Page.
Adam, we have a lot of pages in AEW and cages. Get him in here.
Listen, he walked
Lauren.
from me, and then he came back and took my cake the other day.
Yes, he did. How rude.
He
That
took my
means
cake.
two
Anyway,
things.
enough with. I'm just giving the backstory. If anybody who does not follow the indies, here is your back. And Queen will vouch because Queen's another queen of like the whole GCW thing over there.
Yes, honey.
We love it. We love it. So
We do.
little story with Nick Gage. And can we talk about Ruckus with the music and shout out to wrestling with unicorns because they used his clips that he takes.
Okay.
And I've had him on the Under the Rope series too. So if you guys want to watch that interview with Martin, go back.
It's a good one.
It's good. And like he talks about what he does going to the shows and all the videos that he captured. And now he updated his resume because now he worked for like AEW with the Titantron. So that's so awesome.
Also, big shout outs to Ruckus, who tweeted out that he literally had 2 hours notice to make that song. He literally had 2 hours to make that.
Lapped.
Yeah. Like,
that's terrible.
if that doesn't prove like the skill that this dude has to make theme songs at like quick notice, oh my god, man, the guy's a genius. And that was just such a crazy moment. And now next week, it's they're calling it a no rules match. So again, this is another weirdly named match where we're gonna have to wait to see what exactly are the rules for. There's been a lot of different named type of matches in AEW, and I kind of have to. When I see them announced, I'm like, hey, I need more context here. You could have called this easily like a no disqualification match or unsanctioned or whatever they wanted to do, but they've referred to it as no rules match. So is this meaning it's no DQ and that's it?
You don't need anything when it comes to Nick fucking Gage, okay? You need nothing.
No.
Like, for people that don't know, Tiff, I'm talking to the people that are not into the indies and don't maybe not necessarily know about Nick Gage.
They're gonna know.
They're gonna know.
If they don't already
They
know.
see no rules match and they're like, hey, what does that mean?
I don't think people are gonna fucking care, to be honest with you.
For the people that know Nick Gage, they will. I'm the man. I'm the voice of the voiceless. That are people that don't know about the indies. Okay, I have to stick up for them because they're trying to get
listening to my Under the Rope.
You need to care about these people because they're trying. There's the new audience to AEW.
We care. We're just saying.
The Under the Rope series because I care about you fans out there, and I'm introducing to you the future of what is going to be expected, whether it's in AEW, New Japan,
That's
WWE,
fantastic.
wherever they go.
But these people probably are not watching Under the Ropes, even though they should. But they're probably not watching that either.
Yeah,
so
damn.
Did you not just hear what I said though? I said they probably should. Don't take my words out of context here. I said they probably should. So listen, honey. Listen, honey. I was defending your ass. I was defending your ass. Both y'all back up.
Defending your ass. All right, listen. I can't.
She gone. I've made a piss herself. She gone.
She gone. Look, Nick fucking Gage is no goddamn joke. And if you don't know, you will know. And you are in for an experience. He is no shit, no kidding, will fucking kill you. This is not a game. I'm not kidding. If you ever listen to a Nick Gage promo, it's gang affiliated, FTK all fucking day, like murder, death, kill gang. This is not a joke. So people think it's like a gimmick. It's not.
It may not be a gimmick.
Get it together, because the pizza cutter is fucking real. Okay? Yes. It's sharp AF.
I do imagine, though.
I'm shame belling Kyle with a pineapple.
That's fine. You can shame pineapple me all you want. But I'm saying this just because I'm looking out for our expectations here. We cannot expect what we usually see with Nick Gage and GCW on live television on TNT. I'm just saying that because that's not going to happen. I know we were going to get as far as what we saw last night with the main event. That's probably what we're going to get. That's all I'm saying. We're not going to get anything.
I think we'll
more
get a
hardcore.
little spicier. I think it'll get a little spicier. Yeah, a little bit.
They may, but I'm just saying for people that are used to this and used to seeing him all the time, I think they kind of need to maybe a little bit lower their expectations.
Oh,
it is
yeah.
TNT.
I mean, it's not going to be an exploding death match with barbed wire and light tubes. Like, we get that, but it's definitely going to be a little worse than you're used to. I don't
know how Jericho's going to walk away. So how is he going to make it to scenario 3? I keep forgetting the names.
Let me also say this. Okay. Also for like these death match wrestlers, at the end of the day, they all trained at the same part, right? That they're all trained to regularly wrestle normally. I had those death match wrestlers that come on and they're like, people forget that we're trained to wrestle.
Right.
We all learn how to do our basics. So just because, like, I mean, people are going to expect something next week. And again, like Queen said, we're not going to get what me and Queen are used to normally seeing at a GCW show, but we're going to get something.
We're going to get mouse traps.
I'm for it.
I hope so.
We're going to get, we had forks this week.
I want doors.
Spoons.
That's what I want.
Barbed wire. I want some damn barbed wire.
I want some doors and some barbed wire.
Maybe they
and some
explore the
tables
light. Maybe
and
they do.
Pizza
explore
cutter's
the light
making an
too,
appearance
you know?
because Nick Gage is using that pizza cutter this weekend at homecoming, honey.
And Tiffany, maybe they do explore the light tubes finally. Maybe this is finally the time they explore the light tubes, and then Tiffany loses her shit on Twitter.
I will lose my shit, but I don't see AEW doing that because I feel like out of anything, that's more of a risk of more hurt than anything. You know, I feel like that and glass are your like two worst things in deathmatch wrestling because you can get cut.
Sure.
All right. So that was the opening. Great opening of Dynamite. It was a really good way to start off hot. Doc Gallows and Kazarian had a match. I mean, this was a decent match. I was paying attention. I was entertained. I think the more story though is what happened after. And I guess this is twice in a row that something happened after the match is what we're focusing on because after the match, they're starting to beat down Kazarian. Like Kenny came out and like, I don't know if it was you guys too, but when Kenny came out, I'm like, okay, this is weird because I didn't know, like, obviously I didn't know what was going to happen after. I'm like, because of all the rumors that just happened before the show, I'm like, why is Kenny coming out with Gallows, Anderson, and Kazarian of all people? So I'm like, his story is with Hangman. Why is he coming out now? So I kind of was like putting pieces in my head. I was like, oh, what if this is DB? What if DB comes out and confronts Kenny and maybe there's something to do, like something's going to happen this week. But anyways, Kenny comes out. They're about to beat down Kazarian. The Dark Order, Hangman comes out. So this was interesting. So, oh God, why am I drawing a blank here? Oh my God.
You mean about what Kenny said?
Yeah, I'm having like a serious brain fart right now. Oh my God.
Oh,
It's been a long day for me.
Trash to Kazarian, elite hunters, the elite hunted, and
that's it.
You know all that trouble.
Stuff. I just pulled a Kenny. Literally what happened to him last night, I just pulled a Kenny, and then Don Callis was like telling him what to say.
Yes, it was great.
That was great.
I got you. I'll be the Don Callis too.
Thank
Kenny.
you.
Don't worry. You're welcome.
So this is all building for next week's match. Because next week is the 5-on-5 the 10-man eliminator. So the Elite versus Hangman and the Dark Order. If Hangman and the Dark Order loses, they both each lose their title shots because Dark Order has a title. They'll get a title shot to the Young Bucks if they win, and Hangman will lose his current title shot to Kenny Omega. So that'll be an interesting match to watch next week. It almost is kind of a guarantee that Hangman's gonna win next week, but not really at the same time. Because I don't know if Dark Order are the ones next to get a title shot unless they do it in the month of August. Because I feel like Santana and Ortiz, the winner of that bout, is getting the next title shot or going after the Bucks after they're done. So
I still feel like they're leading to like Dark Order is going to take the tag team. Like they're going to be the new Young Bucks and Kenny with Hangman Page. That's what I really feel in my gut.
And
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know that Hangman's taken this title yet, though. I gotta be honest with you.
Oh,
I got a gut feeling they're gonna make us love him, right? As we already do, but like make us really feel like he's gonna take it, and they're gonna go.
There's gonna be a lot of crying in that crowd.
He's gonna get redemption at Double or Nothing, where he lost the first time.
Oh, they're gonna stretch that. Oh my God. This is gonna be like the longest story in the world because this has been a long story.
Years.
Yeah.
But it's so good though.
Yeah.
Because if you think back to how Hangman was in 2019, right? When things were happening, I wasn't ready yet for the title. Versus Jericho, we all knew, right? We got that. We got it. We understand. And he fell, right? In terms of rank. And then kind of had to build his way up. And the stuff that he did with the Elite, breaking off from the Elite, forming his own thing, then tagging with Kenny and their crazy chemistry and weirdness versus the Bucks in that match was unbelievable. One of the best matches of all time.
True.
Hangman Kenny versus the Bucks. So good. So good. And then the tag team breaks up and Hangman becomes his own thing. Kenny becomes the Kenny we see now. And we get this story. I just feel like, I don't know. Is Hangman ready to take the belt off Kenny right now? Is All Elite ready for Kenny not to be the champion in another month and a half-ish? I don't know. I can't answer that.
We kind of like think that too is because of the fact that Kenny is kind of a little injured right now.
A little banged up right now.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, do we take this belt off of him? Never mind all the other belts that are on him. I do agree with Kyle saying that AEW is going to be the last belt that he does lose, that he's going to slowly lose all belts. Then the other thing is they've been teasing with the whole, and I know Queen knows this, is that they've been teasing Kenny coming on GCW. Is he going to show up
Yes, they have.
again at GCW as well? I know Nick Gage and Matt Cardona's got their feud. Then we got the whole thing with Moxley. So it's like, when is Moxley and Nick Gage gonna happen?
Gage gonna happen.
I like Kyle, I was explaining to Kyle, like, that's not gonna happen at AEW. That has to happen GCW bound because it is for the GCW title.
I still don't doubt that because now he's on AEW TV. I wouldn't put it past him to do it on AEW TV.
They're not going to have the match for the GCW title on AEW, even if it's on a pay-per-view, because it's not going to be violent enough.
But it doesn't have to be for the GCW title.
No, because
it's got to be
Queen
nasty.
It's got to be bad. It's like blood sport bad. Yeah. Like, we needed like blood sport. Because
although the forbidden door is open, so I wouldn't put it past it. You never know. You never effing know nowadays.
I don't know about
Look
GCW.
What happened yesterday,
a lot of other titles.
Look what happened yesterday. How can we sit here and not think?
I agree.
How can we sit here and not think that something like this could happen, though? Look what happened yesterday. We didn't think that could happen. And
Kyle,
it happened.
You need to go back and go watch RSP and freaking RSP and Nick Gage and come back and tell me this next week. That's your homework. You need to go back on, was it Bloodsport, right, Queen? It was Bloodsport.
Yes.
They had this. You need to go back and watch that. And I want you to come back next week and tell our audience over here that you think that is feasible for AEW.
Okay, so answer me this now. Now that Moxley is IWGP beltless, what are you booking him for All Out for? Oof is right.
Moxley it All Out, huh? Tough to say.
Something like, is him and Eddie Kingston gonna come back? Like, it's
possible.
not. I'm telling you, it's not. It's not. Yeah, Brad just said in chat, Brett isn't gonna have the title defended when it's not in front of the GCW fans. It needs to be the GCW.
Correct.
Because it's for that belt is too violent. Now that's what Kyle's
way too violent.
He has to go back. I'm going to find it, and I'm going to send it to Kyle, and he needs to watch this match, and I want him to tell me you're right. Because this, I'm 100% sure I'm
Bill
right.
says, what if it's after GCW does it?
Just a regular match? It's not going to happen.
Never for that title. I'll tell you right now.
Oh.
It's too violent. It's always a death match, especially if Nick Gage is involved. Even if Nick Gage isn't the champion, that belt is for the people. Right. And that's for their people, the GCW people. No offense to any other audience, right? But they're very loyal to their fan base. And that I don't think that they would give a match that they couldn't go all in, not pun intended, for in front of a different audience, if that makes sense to you. I just don't think they compute. Like that death match with Kenny and Moxley that was on AEW pay-per-view is nothing compared to RSP versus Nick Gage.
Do you think they could have a match not be for the title on AEW TV though?
Sure. Oh yeah, I think non-title matches, don't you, Tiff?
I do, but I just don't see it happening because I just feel like exactly what you said. This is a GCW storyline. This is not an AEW storyline. It needs.
Okay, we're gonna move on, but we're gonna mark this. We're gonna put a little tab here. Come back to.
Let's
pause. I'm just saying. Let's
go back. Let's go talk about my boy Yuta.
Wheeler Yuta, who is fitting in nicely while Trent's away. I'll say, by the way, I love how they're doing this whole prodigy thing, and that's cool. Him and Darby had a really fun match. I think obviously the story of the match is the whole interaction that Sting and Orange Cassidy had her ringside, which is like the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Them doing the kicks to each other and Sting even doing the slow like chest bounce.
Oh, good.
The fact that Sting, who's like ultra serious all the time, played along to that was fantastic. And you saw like Darby Allin going like,
Things
"What
you
the hell
never
are you
thought
doing?"
you'd see, right?
Yeah. It's a good match though. And Tiff loves her bridges. So like
It was a
bridges
great
happened.
If I don't get a Yuta bridge, we have a
Yuta
problem.
bridge.
Yuta bridge. I feel like they're like Yuta man and Yuta man, Yuta bridge.
I'm gonna make Tiff a Yuta bridge T-shirt.
I love him. And it's just so funny because I just got tagged in a post that Yuta is going to be at H2O up against my boy Austin Luke. So your girl is covering backstage stuff. So maybe you'll get an
Oh, say hi.
Oh.
Tell him what up.
admire him. Be like,
I
"Can
love him.
we just talk about your bridges?" Like, so I'm gonna try, guys. Like, I'm gonna be backstage doing backstage interviews. So they just announced that. So anyway, but yeah, I got my bridge. I love it.
It was a great match.
It was
a great
beautiful,
match.
too.
So
I don't know where they're going with this though. I thought for sure like Ethan Page would have got, or I think they're gonna do like him like coming back or something. Like we had like no mention of Page or Scorpio at all on the show, and I'd even hear I don't even remember if they brought him up on commentary. I don't know if that was done on purpose, and then Cage is gonna. I don't know what Darby's going into the pay-per-view doing, unless they're just gonna kind of like keep playing him off here, and then he'll be in like the Battle Royal, or whatever they're gonna do if they're doing a ladder match. I don't know. I think was it last year they did a casino? Was it a casino ladder match no? It was the women's. The woman had the casino Battle Royal. That's right.
The women, yes, that's right.
So I don't know what they're gonna be doing. I can't really. I have like nothing for Darby right now. I have like nothing in my head that unless they're gonna do Sting versus Darby, like then I have nothing for him. Because I can't think of anything. Because I honestly thought they were gonna do something at least with maybe at least Scorpio this week. Because Cage is probably they could play off he's still in the casket, quote unquote. But we'll see.
Maybe he comes back for Fight for the Fallen. Maybe that's where you get the story repicked up. I don't know. This pay-per-view coming up is going to be so stacked. It's going to be tough to get a spot.
Right.
I think.
And that's a good thing that there's a New York show like 3 weeks after that they can push some other matches off to, which is going to be great.
Yeah, I know.
So the women's world title match was last night too. Britt Baker, Nyla Rose. You know, I don't think this was like the best match. You know, I will say that I think that the chemistry was kind of losing a bit, like as the match was going on, and they're kind of slowing it down a little bit too much for a world title match. I don't know. It just didn't seem like the chemistry was there between these two. I didn't feel like it wasn't connecting.
Out, right? I think sometimes some storylines like that they can't continue over and over again, and I feel like this might be one because it's like, all right, there's so many other women in AEW. And I get it, but we've seen it. But Nyla's makeup looked gorgeous last night. I just want to say that.
It did.
Hashtag wrestling
so
fashion.
did Britt. I mean, they both look on point, but I feel like you're right, Tiff. This match has been done and done and done, right? Like we're over it in terms of them facing off against one another. And I don't think it does anything for Nyla. Like, why does she have to keep losing? It just doesn't do anything for her character and her momentum or anything like that. There are plenty of other people, if they're keeping the title on Britt, that they could showcase and put in this title position on Fyter Fest. I just don't think it needed to be another round of Nyla versus Britt. We need a break from that, and we need a kind of a rebuild of Nyla's character. That's just my thoughts on Nyla. I just don't think it's working.
Yeah.
And I actually don't think it's working with Vicky either for her. It's not connecting.
And that's sad too because they
think
took her away.
It's sad because I love Vicky actually,
and they took her away from Andrade because of the fan backlash. They took her away from Andrade fan backlash,
which was a smart move.
Yeah,
that was good.
I don't know. I can't see where Vicky would be a good fit. I think they're gonna have to try. They have to try again.
Nyla turned face. Do you think that would help?
Honestly, no. I think she's better as a heel.
Yeah.
I think she's more believable as a heel.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they came up with a really great storyline for her to kind of bolster that move, I just don't think it works. Like, Britt is a heel, yes, but she reminds me of like how Kevin Owens is. Kevin Owens is a heel, right, most of the time, but everybody loves him. So it doesn't matter.
It's exactly
right?
like
He
Bray
could talk as much
yeah.
crap as he wants in the ring. People are obsessed with Kevin Owens. It's kind of like how Stone Cold was. He's a heel, whatever, but everybody loves him. So that's how Britt is to me. And I don't really see any other viable heels happening. Penelope's a heel, but she's not like a top heel. A. B, she doesn't talk very much, so it's hard to kind of bolster that. Bunny is a heel, but doesn't get enough attention. And you have Chris Stat, Big Swole for faces, right? And we have a couple other women as well. Yuka,
Tay Conti.
Sheeta,
Yeah.
Tay,
Tay-
right? And Anna, of course, is injured. We're not really sure if she's going to come back as a heel or a face. So face, I guess, since Dark Order is. But I it's hard. It's hard to say if she could. They have to give her a really good story, I think, is the bottom line.
I think we'll see that in Rampage too. Rampage, we'll see that because as far
think
as I know,
so?
Rampage is supposed to be the opening up for. I think someone recently said that once. I don't know if it was Baker or someone said it on like an interview or something recently. I remember reading it saying that Rampage is supposed to open up. It's going to be opening up more stuff for the women. So
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I
They
can't
need
wait
it.
for that.
Yeah.
They're kind of just desperately waiting for Rampage to start because that's going to be helping not only with the women's division
yeah,
but everything
more.
else.
They need more storylines, better, because not everybody is watching Dark and Elevation because it's too much.
Correct.
3 hours each time.
Well, they've
it's
shortened it now. It's a little bit shorter now because now that they're on the road, they can't really do a 3-hour show and record it before and after. So they've been shortening it down. I think Dark was only 7 matches this week, and Elevation was a little bit shorter.
Yeah, that's what you need to do if you're gonna have people watch. And like I don't watch. I watch the ones that I know from the indies that tell me that they're gonna be on it.
Yeah, it was Bray. She said I'm busted open. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, and Brad there. So, what's next for Britt though? Is it because Thunder Rosa signed today? Does that mean?
Lord, I hope so.
Is that all out? I'm assuming that's gonna be all out.
Oh,
Give it to me.
I want that rematch so bad.
See,
so bad.
Excited for this. This is what we want. Give the fans what they want. But I think Queen's right. I think they need a rebuild of a character for Nyla.
Yeah.
And that's probably what it is that's going to get fans back on this. So Thunder, what about Chris Statlander? Or is it you think it's too
I would love a Chris Stat, but it might be too soon for her, right? They haven't done a lot with her other than put her with OC and the Best Friends, which is dope, but they haven't done a lot for her character. And you're right to the point of people aren't, or I should say, majority of folks aren't watching the YouTube shows Monday and Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
They don't have time. A lot of people who have flack with WWE said the same thing. Like, I don't have time to watch 3 hours of wrestling on top of their other shows and this and that and the other. So it's a lot of wrestling to consume. And if people are just watching on Wednesdays, they're not getting that extra stuff. Yeah. So that may be too soon for her.
Yeah, Thunder Rosa makes sense because it's like, I'm back, bitch. Like, you know, like I'm coming for my title.
Yeah. Anyways,
and that's a draw, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's a draw.
It is
100%. Andrade had a segment, so I was mixed with this segment. It was a great segment. I love that they Andrade came out with Tony Schiavone. They announced that he's got a new executive. It's Chavo Guerrero, which I found out today he signed for a year. So they signed him to a 1-year contract, which he's going to be alongside this faction. And then they call it the Death Triangle, and they come out. I kind of felt this kind of dragged a little bit too long. There was. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the Spanish. It was a little bit too much, and there was a lot of like non-translation as well, which, you know, not everyone's gonna know what they're saying, and a lot of people are very invested into this, kind of want to know what's going on and what they're saying to each other. They only like translated bits and bits, and I just felt like they kind of like dragged it a little bit too long, and how it ended when the music started kind of was like a little bit anticlimactic. I'm like, okay, that was a weird way to end the segment, but this brings me to the segment itself. I was sitting there waiting the whole time, like, okay, here we go. Lucha Brothers are going to turn on Pac. The Lucha Brothers are going to turn on Pac, and Andrade's going, and they're going to join Andrade. But I don't know if that's going to happen anymore. I don't know if that's going to happen, or is Andrade got another surprise up his sleeve, and he's going to be bringing in some more people to his little like faction he's creating. And some guy fantasy booked
LIJ from New Japan.
Was just going to say that literally my buddy Game Event who made the commercial for us from Manscaped literally told me, he's like, I think it's going to be LIJ.
Dude. Oh. I'm getting hyped. I'm getting hyped. Listen, the Forbidden Door, fan me, please. Lord. the forbidden door being open to New Japan opens so many possibilities. And Andrade has that history with LIJ, right? So this is not a far stretch to assume that some people are going to come over. And we've seen Rocky in the audience doing some things. And he was in a match somewhere, I believe, maybe on Dark or something. I just keep your eye out. That's all I got to say.
I mean, even with what was his name in the crowd there, who's having the IWGP match next week. I can't say his name properly. Someone's going to have to say Hiko Leo. Okay, I'm saying that right. Okay, the guy who I thought was 5'9" sitting down, but then when he stood in the ring, I was like, oh, he's actually like 7 feet tall. Okay.
He's mad.
That caught me way off guard. Yeah, but he's wearing the Bullet. Like, they show him multiple times throughout the night wearing the Bullet Club shit. I'm like, okay, stuff's starting to start going now. Here we go. I know it sucks because over there they have that big outbreak that's going on in Japan, which kind of sucks because I feel like if there wasn't an outbreak, I think this would have already been done. We would have saw a lot more. But with the people that are already over here right now, I think we're gonna see a lot more with that. AKA Jay White was just on Impact, so that's like massive.
And Peep Tamatanga.
Yeah.
His Twitter has been saying things like, "See you soon." Oh, baby. Please do see me soon, honey.
He's been going
I will lose it.
Like crazy for a while now. It's not even like recent. This has been going on a long time.
Oh,
I can't wait for Jay White, Tamatanga, Fale, just the whole Bullet Club just to show up, and there's Kenny
and the Super
Bucks,
Elite. It's gonna happen.
Gallows Anderson. Yeah. Can you feel the excitement?
Damn.
Which I think that's gonna get into.
It's gonna be good, honey.
Later. There's something that they announced, which I think that's gonna lead to that. So we'll move on here. Orange Cassidy actually ended up having a match with the Blade. And it was a decent match. The whole thing was the whole story is with the brass knucks with the Blade. Every time I see the Blade and the Bunny, I'm like, man, I remember meeting these guys like 8 years ago, back when they were in like the indies, and it was at like a House of Hardcore event that was in my city, and they were known as Pepper Parks and Cherry Bomb. And Braxton Sutter was wearing a shirt that said sex, weights, and protein shakes. And like he was at like it was cool because before the event you could like it was in the gym area kind of thing. So like all their tables were on the sides. You can go up to like each wrestler and like meet them and stuff. Everyone was at like the Tommy Dreamer table and Mickey James, right? They were like the big head act there. No one was at Pepper Parks' table. Braxton Sutter, and Allie, they're both there together. No one was at their table. So me and my buddy were like, yeah, let's go meet this guy. We sat there and talked to him for like 20 minutes, and we asked him like what match you're gonna be in. He's like, oh, we're the heels and all this. And we're like, we're gonna be like the only ones cheering for you, guaranteed. Sure enough, when their match happened, me and my buddy stood up and were like applauding, the only ones in the entire place cheering him. He got up in the turnbuckle and he pointed right at us and he's like, those guys right there.
That's awesome.
But great match with Orange Cassidy. This was entertaining as hell. The whole like orange punch at the end with the brass knucks looked really cool. But yeah, that was entertaining.
Still died at the whole thing earlier with him and Sting. That was the best.
It's still funny.
Yeah.
It's still funny.
Ever. Like, save that freaking GIF, man, because that was the best thing ever.
So I want to go back, just kind of rewind a little bit to what we were just saying with the Elite and the Bullet Club, or sorry, Super Elite and the Bullet Club. So it was announced that at Fight for the Fall next week, Tony Khan is going to announce a major new live event, whatever the fuck that means. First thing that went into my head is, are we getting a big announcement of eventually something like New Japan AEW Super Show? Is this going to be the announcement?
Dude,
Kyle's been dying.
If that happens, I'm going to die. I'm going to be screaming. You'll be able to hear me across the world. I can't wait. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the day that I hear Okada's Rainmaker music, and I just can't wait for it. Yeah. I can't wait for it.
You know that's happening. Like
it's gotta happen.
Tony Khan is salivating.
Maybe in 2022,
waiting to be back there, saying, "All right, hit the coin drop, do it," and then it happens, and then the crowd just,
I will pop so hard.
Half the crowd faints.
I will faint.
But a major
Have you
new
seen
live
Okada's
event.
thighs?
I was told like people are like, "Oh, it's a live event," and I'm like, "That's weird that we just no." That's something they like send a press release for midweek. that they're doing live shows, like live event shows, like untelevised shows. Not,
Does he mean a
by the way,
pay-per-view?
next week at the next week on Dynamite, Tony Khan is going to have a big, major live event announcement. That's not a live event. That's not a live
And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm like, does he mean a pay-per-view?
He's gonna
like,
walk
what's
out,
happening?
bro, next week on Monday, untelevised Jacksonville show. No, he's not coming out to say that. That's, again, midweek
Let's hope
press
not.
release, blah, blah, blah. It's not on Dynamite. So anyone that like messaged me after I put out the tweet, it got exploded. I don't know how. I literally tweeted out something smells like a New Japan AEW Super Show, and it has like over 400 likes right now for some weird reason. And I had people like
Because
message
everybody wants it.
Yes,
I
give
feel
the
message-
fans what
Everybody
they
wants
want.
it.
and people message me going, "No, it's
I
a
want
live
Kenny's
event."
career. I want Kenny's career to close with a final bout with Okada. I don't care what anybody says. That chapter was beautiful in New Japan. It'd be beautiful in a combo show. Oh God.
Hey Brad, if it's a Canadian show, fuck, I'm gonna be popping. You know what? I don't care where it is in Canada. I'm gonna fly there and I'm gonna go watch it. Wherever they're coming
Oh,
into
maybe
Canada.
it is an international.
Yeah, because
Pretty
they are
cool.
opening the borders
That would
up
be dope.
beginning of August. So I mean, that could be.
Homecoming
Yeah.
for
Oh,
Canadians.
literally Jericho, Kenny. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Jericho, Kenny, Shawn
Spears.
Spears.
Everybody.
It's not-
Christian Cage.
I was gonna say Christian.
Yeah.
Who else? A ton, right?
Ethan Page, the other Page.
That's true.
The other page.
Ethan
Yep.
Page grew up 40
like
minutes
5
away from
pages.
Me. Yeah. I'm telling you, the day we're going to get it, we're going to get Ethan Page, Christian Cage, Brian Cage, Adam Page in a steel cage on AEW Rampage. That's going to happen
I
one
really
day.
hope so.
Shade Page too.
With special guest referee Ricochet
It's
Page.
free.
Ohio.
Fuck Ohio. I don't care that he's a face now. I hate him.
Kyle's has no idea what the hell like we're talking about. What the fuck, Ohio?
No.
But we are going to talk about
People
the main,
on this chat do, though. People on this chat know.
we are going to talk about the main event though, and that is John Moxley, Lance Archer, IWGP
Yes,
US
yes.
title match. This was
Oh,
a
man.
Texas death match. I would have called it a Texas fork match because the fork was the most used weapon in this entire match. My God, did they ever love using that fork last night? They weren't forking around, that's for sure.
But
It was a great match. Great match. I loved it. I was entertained as hell throughout the entire match.
it was so good. It was so good. And on top of that,
Mm-hmm.
this was the first time in I think 7 or 8 years, I can't quite remember, that a New Japan title has changed hands outside of Japan.
Wow.
Like outside of a New Japan ring. So that's like a huge deal.
Big deal, yeah.
And next
I
week
didn't
it's going to be
think
like
that was
the
gonna
third.
happen. Like I was like
I
split.
didn't either.
I was shocked, but at the same time too, I was in complete understanding. You know, I was like, okay, this makes a lot of sense.
Well, yeah, Moxley, he just had a kid. He kind of doesn't want to travel around New Japan and travel around for New Japan while he's, here for his kid. And Lance Archer's been dying to do something, so why not grab the belt and go travel and go defend that belt like he used to in Japan? Go over to Strong and have a couple of matches or do some stuff like that. So I love it. Now next week's like the third or fourth week in a row that the IWGP US Heavyweight title is being defended on AEW TV, which is fantastic. And now Archer's going to
love to see
face
it.
Hikuleo next week.
It's such a
Yep.
great way to get that cross promotion. Like
But-
I can't. This is the
Mhm.
time to be a wrestling fan because now I can't get over all this cross that we have. It's insane. So people that might not be aware of New Japan, like I don't follow New Japan like Queen does. I know like some people, but again, like so I'm learning also like some of the new talent that's gonna come over. Like Kyle's like learns a little bit of the indies from me. Like, so we have this amazing, it is a really good time to be a wrestling fan. AEW's fucking killing it. And can we talk about that they got 1.1 million views last
Again.
night?
2 weeks in a row.
Amen, sis.
Shit.
I'm telling you, if Bryan and Punk show up, they're going to be treading 2 million category. They're going to be hitting the 2 million, guaranteed, 100% if one of those two show up. Even just one of them. If they both show up, they're hitting 2 million 100%. But if one of them show up, they're going to be getting 1.8, between 1.8 and 2 million. There's no question because both those names
Daniel
are going to
Bryan
draw in
hits
the
the
names.
ring, honey.
Yeah.
Oof,
Yeah.
over. You're
Like, if
right.
they-
You are right.
If
You
they
put 'em
promote
out
a
there.
Daniel Bryan in like Hangman Page or Daniel Bryan and Kenny Omega as a main event for next week's Dynamite, something like that, you know that Dynamite is getting 2 million views.
Queen put that picture on her Twitter earlier where her
Listen,
Listen here, Tiff.
I'm gonna take my glasses off
Listen,
for this.
Tiff, listen here.
we're getting serious now.
Oh, here we go.
That is from 2009. Okay, they have met before. Very young, obviously. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega was a short, very curly blonde haired little
Oh,
boy.
yeah.
It looks like he's so
was that
so
pre
young,
Golden Lovers?
right? And what's that?
Was that pre Golden Lovers or is that? During?
Yes.
Okay.
Right before that all started to take place, and then. This is a big deal for them to meet again in this capacity, because that's not the only match that they've had. They've had a few, but that was one of the more significant ones because everyone remembers the arm wrestling that happened in it. This is going to be a huge coming full circle moment to have those two face off again. It's going to be really fun to see what they have to say to one another, because it's been 12 years. Right? This is a long time since what I posted anyway. Exactly. So I feel like so much has happened, like the rise of Daniel Bryan, the craziness that he's accomplished in the WWE, Kenny Omega, the rise of the indies in Japan, right? And then exploding in New Japan to now in AEW. Such different career paths, but they have that indie background, which I think is really special. So I'm really excited to see what they do when this, fingers crossed, hopefully happens, right? We don't know, but we're hoping.
Fuck it. Sal Michaels in the chat. Put them all three together. Punk, Daniel Bryan, Omega, triple threat match. Just do it already. Get it over with. Put it in the ring. Make it a 60-minute Iron Man triple threat match. Just get it over with, and then we can all die.
Cry.
Yeah, we can all die at night. But Daniel Bryan, also forget. Also,
for like your nosebleed seats. Probably more than that. Shit.
But Daniel Bryan, also good in the mic, by the way. Also, a lot of people forget that he's also excellent on the mic. AKA, like, I still go back and watch that Talking Smack. I mean, it was Miz, but like, even watching Daniel.
No, but
Bryan,
he got real though. He got real on that segment. Yeah. And when he brings the dragon part of him out, Bryan Danielson, dragon stuff. Listen, you ain't ready. If you don't know what that is, go do your research. Watch some old Bryan Danielson matches. I'll always mess that up.
Even
Bryan Danielson matches and see what I'm talking about, because this man, whoa.
Even his one on Cena, I go back and watch too. That was a great one too when he was.
That's
when
a great
Cena was
match.
The champion,
and
that promo they did too in the ring, like when he was like yelling at Cena, like he just wants to be champion one time, and oh man, that was so good, so good. But next week, Fight for the Fallen. You got Jericho, Nick Cage, no rules match, Archer and Hikaru, who. What if Hikaru actually wins, and this is a way to put the U.S. title back in the New Japan circuit with a New Japan guy? I wouldn't put it past. I don't know if Archer's just a one placeholder for 1 week.
I feel like Jay White's going to come for that belt.
Oh.
And I feel like Jay White's the one, because he wants to be a belt collector himself.
Yeah. Interesting.
And I know. Number 3 husband right there, honey. Yeah. Let me tell you what. I have a gut feeling that he's going to be making his appearance at some point, right? Because he's on Impact, he's got to do his thing there. But I feel like he's coming for that title, because that would be a cool way to segue it back.
He's got the Never title, so
New Japan.
Yeah, he's got that Never Openweight championship.
He does have the Never title. He does.
So the Elite versus Hangman and Dark Order, Santana and Ortiz with Conan versus FTR and Tully.
I love it.
Tony Khan's major announcement, and then Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus versus Private Party, Tiff Boys, and Angelico. Tiff, I'm just gonna say I got hyped when they came out with their theme. I love their new theme. I don't know what it is, but when they came out and doing the shots thing, I was sitting there doing the same thing. And they're like showing the crowd, people in the crowd doing it. I'm like, these guys are so good. Like, come on.
They're doing a signing tomorrow at the Wrestling Universe, guys. If you're in the Queens area tomorrow, they're doing a signing there. Actually, a bunch of them are. Nick Gage is going to be there tomorrow. I think Sammy G. Brad, I forget. I know I saw the email earlier. There was like a whole bunch of AEW. The Wrestling Universe has been getting a lot of AEW talent over there.
Yeah.
So I think Private Party was $50. Nick Gage, I think, was 30. These are all combos anyway. But if you can go, definitely go.
But it's a crazy summer, and Tiff.
Oh, we didn't do our Manscaped video.
What do you think I'm doing right now? I'm transitioning. That's what I say. It's been a crazy summer. And in the summer, Tiff, what happens this summer? Especially this summer, we have the Olympics, we have the Euros, baseball, major championships, concerts, all in the summer. You know what isn't, Tiff?
What?
A wild, hairy bush.
How
Tame
dare you?
your pubes with help from our friends at Manscaped, the leaders in below-waist grooming. The 4th generation performance package includes the brand new, right here, guys, Lawnmower 4.0. If an athlete treats their body like royalty, why not treat your pubes like an Olympic gold? Fellas, do right and join the 2 million men worldwide who have trusted Manscaped by going to manscaped.com. You're going to use the promo code AEPSHAVE2020 at the end and save 20%. That's right, 20 at the end of the code. You're saving 20%. And also you're getting free shipping. But don't just let me say anything about great about Manscaped. We're going to let our good friend and friend of the podcast, Mr. Doth the Rose, baby, gonna tell us right here in the Manscaped commercial right now.
Hi, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Kyle. And we're here for Kyle.
Today's special product, Manscaped.
Are you looking like a Sasquatch around your crotch? Well, don't just take it from us. Take it from WWE Hall of Famer Dusty Rhodes.
Listen, Daddy, if the dream knows about anything, it is Manscaped. And I used to cruise down the boulevard with Sapphire with my balls looking like a Thanksgiving Day turkey, baby. They were so smooth and nice, and I did it by using the Lawnmower 3.0, Daddy. And the best thing about it, moisture resistant, waterproof, Daddy. I'm talking about my nuts used to look like a water slide, baby. Not anymore, because the hair is gone. It looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin's head. It is so nice, baby. Don't leave you downstairs looking dusty. Take it from the dream.
Nothing means nothing without Manscaped's, brother, yeah.
And now, a song from the Jobbers.
Don't rub me the wrong way. I've been chafing all day. I need a Manscaped. When it hurts real bad and you can smell my ass, I need a Manscaped. Don't sweat it. I need a Manscaped. Don't sweat it. Oh, I need a Manscaped. I need a Manscaped. I need a Manscaped. Yeah. Don't sweat it.
Yeah, don't regret it.
Don't sweat it. Oh, I need a Manscaped. I need a Manscaped. I need a Manscaped. I need a Manscaped. Oh, I need a Manscaped. Yeah.
Need the Manscaped.
That's right, folks. Manscaped. Save 20%. Get free shipping at checkout. Manscaped.com. And use code SHAVEAEP20. What a wonderful way to end the podcast and talking about grooming your balls. Thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring us here at the All Elite Podcast. I love my Manscaped. Love them. Love them. I'm actually wearing the...
Listen, Mr. Queen has one.
There you go.
It's no joke, honey. That stuff works very
Look
well.
at that, folks. Even our guests, Mr. Queen. No, not our guest, but Queen's Mr. is using Manscaped. That means he's one of those 2 million people.
Right.
There you go.
He is.
There you go. Anyways, folks, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. We got to thank the lovely Queen of NE for returning to the AEP, and for sure, 100%, it's a fact. It's going to happen. She's coming back sometime soon. Can't wait to have you. But thank you, Queen, for coming here and talking some AEW tonight. Really do appreciate it. We're going to give you this little 30-second, not more than 30 seconds. I'm going to give you a little spotlight. It's on you to promote yourself and let us know what's going on in the world of the Queen of NE. So go ahead and let the viewers know.
Oh, my goodness. Well, first of all, thank you, Kyle and Tiff, for having me. It's always a pleasure chit-chatting with you guys about anything, but especially about AEW. Thank you for hosting me this evening. And also, big congrats, Tiff, 100 episodes for your amazing show. I'm super proud of you. So well done. As for the Queen, honey, I've been on hiatus. Okay. I had a whole baby.
You did.
So things happened. But she's 3 months now, doing great. Little princess. She hates MJF. So So trained her well. Like, I've done my job. I feel like I can like hang it up. I'm good. But I'm gonna come back a little bit, just a little bit. I'm starting with the Queen and Pops experience is going to be dropping on your airwaves relatively soon in the near future. I'm very happy to be working with my pal Pops again. And I have a couple guest spots lined up, and I think Queen's Court will be doing a little bit. This is an exclusive. I haven't told anybody yet. We'll be doing major coverage of the big pay-per-views for AEW or New Japan or even the WWE, the ones I really, really like. All right, NXT and some other stuff. But that's what I'm going to be doing. You know, I can't do the weekly anymore, but I'm going to be dropping just a little bit because I miss it. I miss potting. I miss you guys. So keep your ear out, honey. I'll be back.
Awesome. Really well done, guys. You can follow her on twitter.com/thequeenofne. We'll put the link down in the description below for you guys on the video version of the podcast. If you're watching the video version live on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, or Periscope, thank you guys for watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're smashing that like button and subscribe button. It helps myself and Tiff in the long run. If you're an audio listener, y'all know y'all my favorites, you audio listeners, for downloading this episode each and every single week. Thank you for doing that. We're available on platforms like Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're getting your podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you're getting it. Search up the No Holds Barred Network. You will find this podcast and all the other wonderful podcasts we do offer here on the network, such as Indie Talks and Under the Ropes with Tiff. We have some WWE content with Kimmy Talks Wrestling. We got it all for you right here on the No Holds Barred Network, so thank you guys for downloading the episode. If you're an Apple Podcast listener, you see that little rating there. Hit us a 5-star rating. Let us know what you guys think of the No Holds Barred Network. It helps us in the charitable side of things. So thank you very much to everyone who has. That's going to wrap it up, guys. Again, for myself, the Queen of Any, and Tiffany. Tiffany, who is the Lady of the Light Tubes, the Queen, or the... God, I was going to call you the Queen of Any because I just said her name. But she's the Lady of the Light Tubes, the EVP Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the lady. She got so many nicknames that I'm going to start forgetting them week by week here. She's got the Jericho list of nicknames, but that's Tiffany. My name's Kyle Masters. We will see you guys here next week, every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time for the All Elite Podcast. And as always, to send us off, our good pal, Kenny Omega. Send us off, bud.
Goodbye. And good night. Bang.